telling you. Have you ever been to Dollar General? Dollar General sucks. I mean, does anybody even work there anymore? I'm telling you right now, I'm just so freaking angry. How many of you have been angry? Did you know that anger can have terrible side effects, not only on your brain, but on your body as well? It's even been linked to depression and anxiety. Recently, I took a psychology course, and in that class we talked about all the different emotions, and especially how destructive anger can be when not properly processed. I would like today to give you an idea of how to positively deal with anger so that way it can be a healthy emotion. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the side effects of anger, and then how to process it, and then lastly, how to talk to somebody else who's dealing with anger issues. Anger is a silent killer. Have you ever looked at somebody when they're really angry? Their body gets tense, their jaw clenches, their brow furrows. This is just the outward effects of anger. It's not even what's happening on the inside. Then, an angry person will totally become a different person. They'll become uncontrollable, loud, and violent sometimes. The outward effects of anger are horrible, and the inside effects have even more havoc on the body. According to the BetterHelp website, anger triggers the fight or flight response. The adrenal glands send the stress hormones, and adrenaline and cortisol are all brought about through anger. The brain sends the blood from the gut to the muscles, and it creates a sense of urgency in the body. The heart rate and the blood pressure all go up, the respiration increases, and the temperature rises. Before you know it, your body is ready for some endurance. And that's why when anger is not properly processed, it turns into something that's even more destructive. The American Psychological Association says that anger is a very normal and healthy human emotion. However, when it's out of control, it can be horribly destructive. From work problems to personal problems, and even the quality of your life can be affected if you don't know how to properly process anger. Knowing how to process anger is key into turning a bad emotion into something great. Because once you know how to process anger, you can bring about compromise and change and communication. Growing up, I struggled with anger. I went to counseling, I went on medication, and I even went to support groups to help process my anger. And nothing helped. Until I figured out SPC. That's what I call it. SPC stands for Stop, Process, and Confront. First, like I said, you stop. When the flight or fight mechanism is started in your body, you have the ability to just walk away. After that, you need to process. Is what's happening enough to make me is it enough to make me lose control? Is it enough to make me angry? You have one life, and you need to decide if that is going to cause you to lose a moment of who you are. The third is to confront. It's always great if you can confront something calmly and intelligibly. And if you can do that, you can make a change. When I talk to people about controlling their anger, I first explain to them that I'm never going to judge them. I've been angry too. Sometimes you can talk to a person and they'll get it. And sometimes it goes in one ear and out the other. Sometimes people will call me years later and say that a conversation we had, that it planted a seed, and when they were ready to change, they took what I told them or the information that I gave them and they made that change. But some people just are not ready. Always remember, you can talk to anyone, anytime, about anything. But that doesn't mean that they're ready to do the work. So you can always keep a toxic person out of your life. If there's somebody that is angry all the time, it's very easy to walk away and just love them from afar. Jack Schaefer, PhD, wrote 25 ways how to confront people about their anger issues. And the first thing that he writes about is that it is important that you know what you're talking about, because knowledge is key. So, in conclusion, I would like to remind you all about what we talked about today and how important anger is and how it needs to be properly processed. I discussed our bodies and what anger does to them. I've also talked to you about how not only have I researched information about anger, but I've also lived it. The next time you run into a situation and you're confronted with being angry, stop, process, confront. If you do that, you can face any conflict with grace and knowledge and calm. Mr. Rogers said it best. The thing to remember is that we are in control of our anger. It does give you a good feeling to know that there's something you can do to help you become the master of your anger and not to hurt yourself or anyone else.